2 weeks on from the exciting Canadian Grand Prix, we move back to Europe. It's the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. Been on the Formula 1 calendar since 1991, and it hosts round 10 of F1 2024. 9 races down already this season. Formula 1 now enters a triple header. This weekend is the Spanish Grand Prix before Austria rounds out for June, and the British Grand Prix kicks off July, the halfway stage of the season. Then it's a couple of weeks break before Hungary and Belgium round out July. August after the summer break takes us as well to the Netherlands. Then September kicks off with Italy, Azerbaijan and Singapore. October takes us to United States and Austin, Texas, followed then by Mexico. November sees Brazil and Las Vegas. December sees Qatar and the season round out in Abu Dhabi. After victory in the Canadian Grand Prix, Max Verstappen leads on 194 points to Charles Leclerc on 138. Lando Norris has 131 with Carlos Sainz on 108, a point clear of Sergio Perez. Oscar Piastri's on 81, George Russell on 69 with Lewis Hamilton 55. Alonso's on 41 and Yuki Tsunoda still in the top 10 on 19. On the second page, Lance Stroll has 17, Danny Ricciardo is on 9. Ollie Behrman still with those 6 points from Saudi Arabia, same with Nico Hulkenberg. 3 points for Pierre Gasly and 2 for Alexander Albon and Esteban Ocon. Kevin Magnussen's on 1 point. Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas and Logan Sargent still no points. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead on 301 points to Ferrari on 252. McLaren have 212, the Mercedes on 124. Aston Martin have 58 with RB on 28. Haas have 7, Alpine 5, Williams on 2. Kick Sauber still pointless so far in 2024. Let's take a look at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya here in Spain, a 2.893 mile circuit, now 14 turns in total, 2 DRS zones as well, and the longest run down to turn 1 on the Formula 1 calendar. Now it's a fast circuit again. Get a good exit out of the last corners as well. Fast, flat out, full power now, down towards turn number 1. It's the longest start-finish straight in Formula 1. From the control line to turn 1, it's 871 metres to the braking zone as well. Drop down at about 70 metres. Flick the car through on the inside line as well through 1, 2. Uphill through 3. Keep the car sort of dead centre. Hold it as you rise up into 7th gear. Let the car drift out, but don't let it go over. The car will find understeer. Get the car towards the centre to pick up the exit line here and straight line down towards turn 5. The Seat corner. 3rd gear, inside line, gentle on the throttle because the rear steps out and snaps. Under the bridge, that vibrates if you stand on it as well. Through 7 and 8, then uphill, chicane-style section before turn 9. Flat out through Kamsa, feathering that throttle before the DRS opens. On the run, down towards the new turn 10. Flick the car in, it's a double apex, so let it just drift and pick up the accelerates up through into 11 and 12. Inside line crucial here as well because the rear wants to step out. Into turn 13, now a long sweeping right, so's turn 14, the last corner at New Holland. Quick downshift, back up the speed, over the curves, DRS open and across the line. And that is a lap of the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya here in Spain, Catalunya. Here we go then at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. It is all lined up to be one of the best races on the calendar, as it always is. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, been on their calendar since 1991, and it is epic. Hello everyone, welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix weekend. This is going to be one you don't want to miss as well. So many new updates being brought to the cars. So many new teams now changing directions, going in a different way and seeing what works and what doesn't. It's round 10 of the season. We're here later than usual. Usually, Spain kicks off the European season, but we've had quite a mismatch at the start of the year. This is now the third European race of the season as well. Going into a triple header. Spain this weekend, Austria the week next, and then Silverstone as well to round the halfway point of the year. Megan Birch is on her way up to the commentary box as well to join me and down in the pit lane and joining us for this session. Once again, the little owl, and more commonly known as Jack as well. Hi Jack, and we're all set then as well here in Barcelona. Interesting F3 and F2 that happened this morning. Now, lunch break done, all time for F1, and it's looking good.
Yeah, looking like a promising session. It's going to be interesting to see who's on the pace and who's off the pace. Red Bull, of course, a little bit off the pace in Canada, but they seem to claw it back. And an unlucky timing with the safety car, obviously, I think personally cost Lando the win last time out. So we'll see what happened, because I think Red Bull, this is one of the tracks I think they will be stronger, personally.
Yeah, absolutely. So many upgrades being brought to the cars as well. There's so much to talk about in this session. We're going to get on it as well. New Sky Sports app as well, which is going to be quite fun to play around with. And hopefully we'll get the ComCam back up soon as well. Everything's still set up in front of me from Le Mans as well. So I've yet to put all my little fancy notes as well. Also, we're out of printer ink, so that was great. So I've got handwritten notes for what we want to talk about in this session as well going forward. One quick thing, though, that we do know. Red Bull not bringing as many upgrades to this race as they wanted to. They have got a lot, but they're not bringing so much because of the crash damage by Checo. How crucial is that going to be to everybody else looking around who've brought the bigger upgrades, especially Mercedes and RB, who've brought nearly a different car almost? How crucial is it going to be going forward that we're going to be like, oh, this is now a chance to close the field up even more in the second half of the season?
Oh, it's going to be huge for them, because obviously Checo, 2 crashes in 2 races. For that man, it is just not going well for him this season. Of course, signing that contract extension, but with the damage to the upgrades, it is going to be absolutely crucial here, because there's a chance that all these other teams are just starting to catch up, with Red Bull finally, in my opinion, feeling the effects of that cost cap penalty. That all the other teams are just starting to catch up, more specifically Ferrari, McLaren, and to an extent Mercedes as well. It's absolutely huge, and Checo, like. Can you stop putting it in the wall, please? Please, mate.
Not the best way to start a new contract as well, with him being announced that he's going to have an extra 1+1 deal. I think that might not work out the way he wants it to if all things play out. So we're gearing up then for the start of this session coming up in around about 30 seconds time. So kind of worried that Sky aren't on air yet. Rachel Brooks is up in the commentary box alongside Damon Hill. Bernie Collins also making her way up there with Ted in the pits. But let's hand over very quickly down to Simon to give us all the news.
Here are your timings for this first of 5 races in the next 6 weeks. Practice 1 is right now. Practice 2 from 3:35. The F1 show will follow from 6:15. Practice 3 tomorrow on air from 11:15 and qualifying from 2:10. And race getting underway at 2 o'clock on air at 12:30 with all the build-up here on Sky Sports F1. Right, let's head up to the commentary box and join Rachel Brooks, who's there with Damon.
Here we go then, once more for Formula One in 2024. After a brief spell over in America, it's back to Europe. The Spanish Grand Prix at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya here in Spain. This amazing circuit has undergone a little bit of a transformation over the past 18 months as well. Brand new pit and paddock complex, brand new atmosphere to the surface as well, new grandstands and new hospitalities. It really is amazing. 4.657 kilometres, top speed of 346.4 kilometres an hour, 215.2 miles an hour. And if we need them here as well, the Pirelli tyre compounds this weekend are the hardest. It's a hard C1 in the white, the yellow and medium C2, and the red soft C3 tyre as well. Beautiful conditions here as well. Track temperature is at 46 degrees. Air temperature is at 27.6, 36% humidity, no rain in the air, and the pressure over 1004.5 mbar, which is very high when it comes into consideration as well for a dry track. There is rain expected. That's coming on Sunday. Dry conditions expected for Friday and Saturday. We did have rain on Thursday. We haven't had a wet Grand Prix here in Spain since 1996. So there is a lot to sort of hold up and keep forward, but we are in for a fascinating weekend as well. Megan Burge, just on our way to the commentary box, will join us in a second down in the pits, and joining us as well in the box is Lily Talal with Jack as well. Jack, all set to go, atmosphere ready, race controls are ready, and everyone is all set to go. But I think the biggest news we have to start with is the news from Alpine this morning, and that is that Flavio Briatore, the team principal back in the days of Benetton and Renault, famously of course was banned for a lifetime in Formula One after his part in Crashgate in 2008 Singapore Grand Prix. Controversially, of course, that now still in the news with the possibility of Felipe Massa taking them to court because to be crowned rightful champion. But still, Flavio Briatore, that ban was lifted in 2010. He spent time away. He's now back as an executive advisor to the Alpine team for Renault themselves, the parent company. So then, Jack, Flavio is back, and that's going to rock the world of Formula One, isn't it? Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you as well. It's an interesting decision, and I'm not sure really currently what to think of it. I do always believe in second chances, but I will say that Crashgate was probably one of the darkest moments in F1 history, if I'm honest. So I'm not really sure how I feel about him being back. He's not a team principal, it's executive director. I don't know what that means. I'm not an expert in that field of work. But it is just a really weird, interesting situation to have Flavio back in the paddock.
It's a very similar situation to what Helmut Marko has, I understand, from what I've been told. So there's a lot to sort of take from that what you will, and keep an eye on everything. We've also got the list of car updates to get through. Literally, there is a lot to get through in this next session. So much, in fact, it's quite unbelievable how many cars and everything have changed over, what everybody's got. We'll give you the full list of what's changed on every single team coming into this weekend. Also, we're expecting some updates as well to be filed in throughout this weekend. Literally, this is my notes page on my phone because we haven't got it printed out yet, but these are all the stories we've got to get through in the next 3 hours as well of the commentary. But the green light's on, and down in the pit lane for us is Bernie Collins. Afternoon, Bernie.
Through a little bit earlier how many upgrades on the Ferrari, and we can just see here at the back of the car a lot focused on the rear wing. They are getting some flow viz on there, so what they're trying to assess is how is that rear wing and the other elements they have around the side of the car working for them. What does the flow of air over that rear wing look like? So you can just see them spraying it all on now. They'll be going out, do a little install run, then come back in and get a lot of good pictures to send back to the factory to assess the situation there.
Thank you, Bernie. And just to update you as well on what we have in terms of Ferrari, they have got a lot of changes to their car. Ferrari have a brand new rear wing, which gives them higher downforce, top rear wing and lower rear wing designs as well. They've got a new coke, which is the engine cover, increased side pod and the cake undercut, so that's the aero intake at the side of the car. They've got new floor fences, redistributed floor fences, camber as well. On the floor body, they've lowered the front floor roof, so you can see there basically the little bit of shark fins that stick out from underneath the underboard of the car. That's the floor edge, which rearward floor edge volume increase. You can kind of tell on the Ferrari that's coming out of the pit lane now in front of me here. Sort of been tailed up like two Mickey Mouse ears at the side of the car. Diffuser, reworked diffuser, boot, and the keel has been expanded as well, so brand new way that's going to channel the air down to the diffuser and suck the car into the ground. And an updated halo trailing edge as well and cockpit device, so brand new halo. And the cockpit device, you can just see on this angle here, is like two little ears just next to the driver's headrest as well. That's sort of sticking onto the side of the car. So brand new little air intake there. As we take a look at the Ferrari now actually as well, Jack, that looks really nice. They've sort of slimmed it down and gone in a combination of Red Bull and Mercedes in terms of aerodynamic change.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me a little bit of the X-Wings back in the
Yes.
90s a little bit. That's what it reminds me of, but in like a much safer way, to be honest. Those things had to go, but this actually, you know, it looks quite interesting to me in all honesty. I think, will it work? We'll see.
Going to keeping an eye on that as well throughout the weekend. I'm trying to get my notes page up on my phone, on my iPad, so I can actually get it better, but it's not syncing with each other because, you know... Oh, there we go. Hang on, it's in March now. Let's give it some time and it'll come through. Here we go. Because then I can easily read it on my iPad as well with all the information I've got to have on with my notes. So yeah, Ferrari, that's what they've got. Looking at Haas, who I've only got one update, which is a rear impact structure change. The upwash flick on the RAS trailing edge, and that upward flick as well on the back of the car. So if a car goes into the wall backwards as well, the trailing edge is it's just above the light, so just next to the monkey seat on the light, and that's where it's going to be. And also another factor in this is that Oliver Behrman is going to do in FP1 for this session. He is borrowing Nico Hülkenberg's car, and that is the second of 6 practice sessions that Ollie Behrman will have in the remaining 2024 season. His first was back in Imola as well a couple of weeks ago, so he's going to be in Hülkenberg's car for 3 races and practice 1, then take over Magnussen's for another 3 races later on in the season as well. And let's hear from him now.
To do this. But I think in Mexico I showed that, in Abu Dhabi I showed that last year, and having done Jeddah I really have a high level of self-confidence. I think that's always been the case for me. I've always had a lot of self-confidence, but I think that really proved it. I have nothing to prove anymore in F1.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I say that, but I don't have to go. Sorry, I don't have to go and over-push and show what I can do, because just staying within my limits and proving my potential, I think, is enough to show my capabilities. So yeah, that's a nice feeling to have.
It is indeed. As well, we're trying to press the keys here, but it's like the computer's frozen on the keyboard.
Maybe this is still coming.
Yeah, so I'm having to manually control it. So I apologise if I'm getting this wrong. Session screen, is that right? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'm having to click it because the buttons aren't working. Why is that? Yeah, the keyboard's just gone dead. It's very hot in here, so we're about to open up the window. Oh, flapping DRS win on the back of that Yuki Tsunoda. So, yeah, so he's having to drive it very carefully now. If the DRS is stuck open, you smell of strawberries. Hello, Megan.
Thank you. And hello.
How are you? Just to update, by the way, this is what we've got to get through in the practice sessions. A lot of information to come through. Yeah, in terms of VCARB, which is the RB team, they've got a lot of updates. Are you ready for this? The front corner, I've just turned my iPad off. That's a great thing, isn't it, as well? So here we go with VCARB. They've got to change. The front corner, the front brake cooling duct has been reverted to the specification used prior to Monaco. The engine cover, the top surface and lower surface in the area of the side parts have been reprofiled. You can kind of see it as well. They've got sort of a slimmer bulk to it as well. Now very much like when it comes off the halo edge on the RB now, it kind of looks like the Red Bulls where it looks like the halo end just goes on and on to the side of the car. So trying to channel that air back into the intake as well. Further upgrades as well. The floor on the floor body, the height and shape of the forward floor has been updated with the fences modified to suit the rear wing. It's a brand new rear wing for medium to high downforce tracks. The rear wing profile has been redesigned to improve the pressure co-effect, that's the CP profiles, for efficiency. You can kind of tell it there as well. And with a beam wing, compared to Monaco, the camber and the incline of the elements is reduced, positioning this wing as an intermediate step between that previous years of high medium downforce circuits. So basically, RB have got a brand new car coming in as well. Lots to come in then for VCAR.
They do better.
Yes. To come into it. Tell her Curry, I'll call him Curry. Okay. As they come in, yeah. So then, we're now seeing Aston Martin come through. Tell you what though, Jack, I think VCAR have got a very good opportunity here to close up what they need in the championship. They need to start pushing as hard as they can. And to be fair, they've had quite a good couple of races with Yuki Tsunoda, and Ricciardo's started to get his qualifying on track, like we saw in Canada, but racing still needs to improve from him. Oh, might lost Jack. Yeah.
Mute.
Wait, never mind. Sorry, I was on mute. My bad. I was on mute. It's hard to focus on. But anyway, back on topic. Yeah, Visa Cash App RB. I'm going to use the full name just because I think it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the team's doing a little bit better than they were. I'm excited to see what they've got because, to me, I personally prefer the new look car. Personally, it looks good, the blue on it and everything. But I'm excited to see how they do, especially as someone who likes Danny Rick, who likes Yuki Tsunoda. Particularly because I think Tsunoda has got potential. He is a very good racer. Maybe he got pushed up a little bit early, but I think he genuinely does have that potential to be a possible racer in the future. Whereas Danny Rick, maybe in the latter stages of his career, not doing too great at the moment, but his qualifying in Canada was absolutely phenomenal. Especially considering where out-qualifying not only Sergio Perez, but both Ferraris. Very impressive job. Not that they didn't just completely bottle it, but still.
It really is flying through, and I think we're going to see Danny possibly get another year at VCAR, whatever it is, the RB team. I do know that they are planning to change that name, though.
That's good.
Yeah, Bernie's down at McLaren.
For you, but down here at McLaren with Lee for you, having a little look at the rear wing. We've seen that rake that we had seen earlier, that's come off the car now. Have you got team radio?
No,
you're good. Keep going.
So that's come off the car, that rake has come off the car at the back, but they've made some adjustments now to the front wing.
Right,
so I think it is because this circuit has corners that we've not had at more recent circuits in terms of the speeds that they're under. So they're just sanity checking that upgrades that they may have brought later in the year are working as expected on this circuit. But on the front wing here, on the very, very end of the front wing, you can see they've added a little gurney to that now. So that's only on Norris's car, and it's not on Piastri's.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much for that. Thanks very much. Let's hear from Sainz now.
The issue.
I didn't quite hear what they were saying there as we came away from Bernie there, but yeah, Sainz has been on the radio.
I think it was the engineer telling him to change position of one of the settings, yeah.
Okay, I think we can get the team radio. We're going to have a listen to it now.
Full power.
Oh. That's an important team radio.
There's another one.
Multifunction strat position 1. Multifunction strat position 1, and all will be fine.
So he's not having a good time of it right now.
Oh, great. Our mics are back.
What?
Well, if anyone can hear us, we apologise for what's happening. The computers are going haywire up here in the commentary box.
Maybe I should leave. Maybe I'm a curse.
No, I think our microphones are back. Apologies if you lost us briefly there. In terms of audio or visual, we've got a bit of a problem with our technological aspect of televisions. Our computer monitor wasn't working. The keyboard had frozen, so I think it's like something on the bus. It's too hot in this box, I think, and it's got wrong. So I think it's back working now. The keys are working. No, our camera's gone off. So I've got to deactivate and activate that again. So there we go. So yeah, I do apologise.
Sound-wise, you're good, by the way.
Sound-wise,
Sound-wise,
you're
you're
good.
good.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jack.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen
A
goes.
little bit laggy, but you're good.
I'll sort that out in a second then. Max Verstappen looks good to me. There we go. We're back. Don't know what happened there. So give me a second, Jack, and I'll fix the lag here. All good, Josh. Thank you, Adam. So we are good on YouTube as well. Hello, everyone. Yeah, the whole system just lagged out. It's always Spain, practice one, we have these issues as well. We had it a couple of years ago with Richie and Josh T.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi's...
I reckon someone's pressed the Wi-Fi button. Because it was really weird because the
thing is, I'm on data.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
here's the thing. The MacBook is on a different monitor, and that went funny. At the same time, the computer went funny. So it must have been something on the internet that glitched. So apologies if we had a bit of an issue there. Bearman just going slightly wide, coming out of Camper at turn 9. No major upgrades, I must say, to Mercedes, McLaren, Alpine or Williams. They've brought no upgrades. Haas, as I said, only got one upgrade date that they've brought in as well, and we'll talk to them as we go. We've already talked about Ferrari as well. Let's talk then let's carry on the theme from Alpine to start off with. Megan, news broke this morning, we've already talked about it on the show to begin with. Alpine have rehired Flavio Briatore now as an executive director advisory to the Renault board. So, quick takes on that, having Flavio back?
It's intriguing.
But also, another factor that you came into, Alpine are seriously considering abandoning Renault engines and becoming a customer team. Now, I don't know how thinking it is, but Alpine is Renault. Renault is Alpine. Alpine is Renault's motorsport division. So it is still a factory team. But Renault are considering ditching their own engines because they're that bad. And that's a truthful thing that's coming in. And they've already apparently held talks with Red Bull about using their powertrains in 2026. So I'll come to Jack in a second, but Megan, that's a bit of an omission, isn't it, for Renault to say our engines clearly aren't good enough?
I mean, at least they're being honest. It's more than what a lot of teams think of themselves. And at least they know that they need to change it, which is yet again something a lot of teams take a while to realise. And I'm glad they've realised before halfway through the season, it's like, this isn't working.
So they haven't got the time to fix it for this regulation change, which comes in 2026.
But
so
they can do it
for 2028, where they've got 2 years to develop it a bit more, which kind of makes sense. But Jack, it's ironic they've gone to Red Bull, where if you remember the Cyril Beat Bull telling Christian Horner he needs a driver and an engine. Now it looks like Alpine need a driver and an engine. How the tables turn in Formula One.
Indeed they do. It's gonna be weird just seeing if this happens. It's weird for me because Alpine, like, they are Renault. They are a manufacturer team essentially. I know Alpine's the customer brand, but they are essentially a manufacturer team. So it's gonna be really weird seeing Renault just opt out of engines in F1 and go straight to Red Bull if that's the case.
The problem is as well that if we've all been thinking the same thing, Renault have signed on as a manufacturer for 2026. They are legally obliged to be there, and if any team come in and take their engine, they can't just pull out. They have signed a contract saying that we will provide engines from the 2024 to 2029 Formula 1 season, where the next regulation block is. So Megan, as we look at Alpine now with Pierre Gasly, who's, I think, in the pink livery this weekend, not that we can tell that much, but Alpine have been in the dogs all season long, haven't they? The worst in pre-season testing, the worst in the season all. So
They've got a couple points here and there.
yeah, 9th and 10th last time out in Canada.
But never usually better than that.
Struggling a lot.
And they seem to take each other out a lot. I mean, I saw a funny thing about how Ocon would rather than see Gasly get points, literally jump like the barriers or something.
He's done that before, Stuart Ocon as well, to be fair, yeah.
He did that at Monaco.
It's so bizarre coming into it as well. As we're 15 minutes into this first practice session, it's Max Verstappen who is fastest at the moment on a 1:15.424
Shocker.
from George Russell's second. Third for Carlos Sainz, fourth for Lewis Hamilton, fifth for Lando Norris.
I actually mean that is shocking, by the way, for Verstappen to be top. But he may win a lot, but we all know he likes to sandbag a hell of a lot during the practice sessions and for the first 2 sessions of qualifying. It's like at this point, it becomes predictable that he's not going his true speed, but apparently he's deciding to forgo that this weekend.
Yeah, well, this is a circuit that Red Bull can work well at, and Red Bull have brought some new upgrades to this circuit as well. A new side pod inlet, which is revised side pod inlet geometrics as well, so slightly just higher and lower positionings. Changes to the engine cover, side panels to match the new side pod inlet profiles. On the floor body, they've changed the cooling range floor altered to meet the new engine cover split line. They've changed the B-wing, with the elements have now been extruded into a revised end plate geometry. And the rear wing end plate, as we've been talking about, as well, lower third of the end plate has moved outboard as well. Bianca Bustamante, who topped the session this morning, technically not, because Abby Pulling was fastest, officially, and Bianca Bustamante was in second. They both did a 1:42.430. Again.
Another time doing
Another tie, yeah.
Oh my! What is it with like motorsports right now, and then just deciding, do you know what? We'll do the same time.
I know, it's insane, isn't it? As we just saw Charles Leclerc have a bit of a slide coming out of turn 11. Here's Checo.
Anything wrong with the front pedal that we are understeering too much? Corner exits. Like I said, we'll have a talk in the garage.
Oh.
Yeah, so that.
So Checo's saying, is anything wrong with the throttle pedal?
Last time Ocon heard that, it did not end well.
I did not know. Carlos Sainz is coming to the pit lane after reporting no power earlier on in the session as well, so this is going to change over.
Check in with Palpatine, he's got unlimited.
Yes. Just coming in then as well, just taking a look. There's a couple of things we need to pick up on about it all that we've had, but I think the next little signing we need to go is, Bianca Bustamante was really quick this morning as well, actually. She could take her first pole this afternoon, so you and Jess have got an interesting session after P2 later on. Then something that came in the press conference that I wanted to wait until Megan was in the box for and sitting down comfortably to say. Fernando Alonso in the press conference yesterday here at his home Grand Prix in Spain, 11 years on since his last win. Here's the Leclerc.
The car is horrendous for now. Okay, we're having a look.
Leclerc says, I'm boxing. Okay, we're having a look, say the team. And the car is horrendous right now as well. Yes, Fernando Alonso says, I know that soon the time will come again when I say goodbye to F1 100%. And I don't know exactly what I'll do. An actual direct quote there from Fernando Alonso.
In fairness to him, he is in his 40s now, and that's when most decide they want to retire.
But he's got another 2-year contract.
Exactly, so we have him for at least 2 years.
Which is fine, because I think it's 27. Yeah. Carlos Sainz on the opposite of that, we just heard him coming into the pit lane saying, all the teams that haven't signed their drivers for next year have me on their list and have offered me a contract. So every team that don't have a driver next year have offered a contract. That means
Alpine.
Alpine, but also Mercedes. Which is interesting because Toto Wolff has hinted that Sainz is not on their list and he's pointing towards Antonelli.
But is that a red herring?
It's got to be, hasn't it? It's a weird one. As Charles Leclerc goes fifth on a 1:16.094. What do you think, Jack? We were commentating on the F2 session earlier on. Antonelli did have an off in that part of the track, but where can you see Carlos Sainz ending up as more work goes on Yuki Tsunoda's car?
The most likely situation that I can see is him going to Williams. That seems to be the most likely one at the moment. I can't really see him going anywhere else, to be perfectly honest, but I'm open to being proven wrong. There's a chance that he could go to Mercedes. They've not got a driver for next year, you got to remember.
They don't.
Like a direct swap between Lewis and Carlos would actually be quite interesting. Kind of like Kimi and what's his name, Charles, in 2019. But no, I think Williams is the most likely. Williams is the most likely pick personally. Is Lando.
Oh, sliding out. Oh, and getting on the gravel as well out of turn 11 into 12 and 13. So he too having a bit of a slide. Here's the radio from Lando.
Instability into most corners. Pretty poor grip from the rear. And as soon as I have entry instability, the whole corner's pretty much gone.
Yeah, I'm saying it's hot. I'm still up near the light. Yeah, I'm still near the light though, so it's quite hot in here in the commentary box right now. Heat waves. I'm not looking forward to this weekend.
When it comes to the heat wave, I think it's long overdue.
Speak for yourself.
I like it to be hotter.
This commentary box turns into an oven.
I know, but we basically didn't have a summer last year.
Walked out 2 years ago, tanned. Only driver to finish in the points every Grand Prix so far this year is Lando Norris. That is a true fact, yeah.
Who's that?
Lando, he's finished with points in each race so far this year. He's the only driver to do that. Though technically speaking, McLaren as a pair, they've got points. One of them has got points in every single sprint and race this year, so they're doing quite well for themselves.
What's going on? Not commenting on the discussion. What? Oh, you've slid it. Into the pit lane then comes Lando Norris as well. Not going to this. Yeah, it's a nice vantage point as well. Also, don't like to point out again that sky of flown Danica over from Canada.
Why was Carlos looking so interested?
He's looking at the timing screen, isn't he?
Yeah. Why is he so interested? No one's out. Oh, wait a minute. Piastri's out. He's looking out for his, let's just say nephew, because him and Leclerc are basically brothers.
Just quickly talking then as well about a couple of things that happened during the break as well. Obviously, Ferrari won the 2024 Hours of Le Mans for a second year running as well. That was a fantastic one. Liberty Global has acquired a control. Oh, actually, we'll wait for that because what we're going to do now is hand over to BBC Radio 5 Live. Harry Benjamin is on the commentary.
Well, a dead heat of a pole in Canada. It was Russell who set the lap time first, so he started on pole position. Couldn't convert it into the win in what was a tricky race for all involved. But I suppose it seems like we've had plenty of false dawn before with Mercedes in the last couple of years, but this one does feel a little bit different. Ever since this introduction of a new front wing, they're not pinning all their hopes on that new front wing, but it just seems they've perhaps finally got a bit of a clearer understanding of these regulations now we're a couple of years in.
Yeah, it sounds like that, doesn't it? From the sort of messaging coming out of the team, it really feels like something's clicked. And even if it's just an understanding of where they went wrong, it gives them a direction in which they can start.
Bit of buffering from the 5 Live side. Well, it says it's playing, so that's a bit of a concern if it's had a bit of an issue. We'll continue on, though.
I think Wi-Fi isn't the strongest right now.
No, it doesn't like. Yeah, the page is unresponsive. It doesn't like heat. It doesn't like rain. Is what we're learning about our lovely Wi-Fi.
So it's British.
Yeah, pretty much. Just a quick thing as well. So Liberty Global has acquired a controlling stake in Formula E. IndyCar, and we'll talk about that later, but they've acquired a new broadcaster as well with Fox Sports. And the Apple-produced Formula 1 movie starring Brad Pitt will premiere in theatres and IMAX internationally on the 25th of June 2025 and in North America on the 27th of June 2025.
Woohoo, we get it 2 days before.
Yeah. Back to BBC if it loads.
That American.
Towards improving the aerodynamic performance on a track like this. And this first session is where the teams, as much as we are getting that very first look at exactly what they're doing for each of them.
You bring up a good point about George Russell, though. Look, he is blindingly fast. There is no question about that. You don't get to his level. You don't be a race winner in Formula One without being exceptional. But is there a question to be asked, perhaps, is he a bit too mistake-prone when the pressure is applied?
So he was actually talking about this yesterday, and he was basically saying what had been my impression of what was going on in Canada, that partly anyway, I felt that he was kind of, it's been so long since he had a chance to win. He finally had one, and I felt it felt like he was overreaching a bit, you know. And what he said yesterday was that he was driving absolutely on the limit because he sensed the victory might be on. And he said if the car was more competitive, then I wouldn't have to push quite so hard to try and keep it in that place, but I'd rather be doing that than, you know, backing it off and driving like 1 or 2% less. But if you drive 1 or 2% less, you're not in the lead fight anymore. That's basically what he was saying. So it's basically backing up what our impression had been a couple of weeks ago. And you can understand where he's coming from, you know. What we don't know is, and that's basically been the situation at Mercedes for the last couple of years. There's been a couple of races where he has made errors when he's been chasing for the lead. Singapore last year, for example, he crashed on the last lap. Las Vegas last year, he crashed with Max Verstappen. But
Valtteri Bottas, massively flapping rear wing, it looks like, as well. Coming into the braking zone, as we're back now.
There was a mosquito somewhere. I'm hoping it got caught.
It wasn't a mosquito, it was a ladybird.
No, I saw it land. It was a mosquito. I have a sixth sense of this. By the way, I caught that mosquito from a week ago.
I didn't know there was a mosquito. Anyway.
There was.
Closing back in.
Also, there was a spider in my room last night, which I had to get out.
So what haven't we talked about just yet? Domenicali says that the F1 will change the red flag rules that affected the Monaco Grand Prix in terms of the tyres and all that lot. Because, yeah, so they're going to change that rule. And the 2026 regulations could be the final regulations to use hybrid engines. Which means we might be going back to, in 2029, V10, V8, with fully synthetic fuels. Could be something. We don't need the hybrid power. It's ridiculous. If we've got fully synthetic fuels, why need a hybrid? Doesn't make sense. It's like they're just throwing it all together. Basically, we're in the holding years when Formula 1 tried to be, you know, green and failed.
They're basically throwing stuff at a dartboard and seeing what fits.
There's a new restaurant just above turn 10, and it's also a walkway that is very nice, actually, and can be accessed to the general public, and it's very cheap.
Huh.
Yes. I love... Megan, you know I've been here as well. I love this place so much. It's one of my favourites. It really is a beautiful circuit. It's a beautiful atmosphere as well that you get when you're here. And I wish, so wish, that it wasn't changing that the Spanish Grand Prix is going to Madrid.
Yes.
In 2 years' time. Is it 26? Is it 26, Jack? It's going. It is, isn't it?
That's what I've heard. I've heard 26 personally. So it'll have the new regs as well with the smaller cars.
They'll bring it back.
I think Madrid will last a couple of years and Catalunya will get it back, to be fair.
They're just like, please take us back. We're just like, more money.
I mean, we've been here for MotoGP recently as well, because the dates have swapped. MotoGP have swapped dates with Catalonia. So we're coming here when it's hotter than when it is in May, and the weather is a bit more unpredictable as well because of the climate. So, like having Barbados, really hot days, one rainy, that's what we're having here. It rained yesterday, and it could rain again on Sunday.
Very British weather, to be honest.
Well, when I went there in 2019, I was told by Will Buxton, bring your winter coat. We had snow there last year. It was freezing cold. Bring your winter coat. I get off the plane, 32-degree heat. No, 3-week drought. grass fires, everything. Hottest conditions. I've never been that hot in February in my life. It was insane. And then I see Will Buxton.
Wait a minute, didn't we have a snowstorm?
Yeah, you had snowstorm, I had sunshine. Do you know what the other thing was as well? I saw Will Buxton at the end of the day down in the pit lane. Winter coat on. I was like, Will, are you just proving a point? There's me, shorts and a t-shirt in the grandstand recording a podcast. I was like, Will, what are you doing? Even Ted said to me as well, that, oh, it's hot, isn't it? Full jeans and a shirt he was in, and he was hot. Yeah, he had sun cream on as well, just below his eyes and his nose.
I don't know why, but if I put like sun cream or Nivea just like right underneath there, my eye gets so irritated. Yeah. It's like it starts to water. I'm pretty sure I must have like a nerve that's really close to the surface or something, because it's only on this side. It doesn't happen on the other side, but it's also like I can see it, and I'm just like, it's gonna get in my eye. It's gonna get in my eye.
Max Verstappen has just gone fast on a 1:14.252 on the soft compound tyre right now. Lewis Hamilton down to turn 10 on the brakes. Just drifts out wide. Didn't commit enough, and the car just didn't grip into the corner. Didn't lock up or anything, as far as I saw. Let's have a look at the offboard. Yeah, this car's not turning in on the bide point.
He just forgot how much he had to turn. It is free practice.
It is free practice as well. Let's get into a little bit here that I want to bring Jack in for as well, because Megan, I know you don't know too much about this bit.
Probably not.
Jack, Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Grand Prix has introduced a brand new general admission plus tickets. Which anyone like to guess how much they cost? For Las Vegas, remember?
Oh, I'm gonna go for. Let's go for about $800.
800, good guess, Megan.
$3,600.
Oh, too high.
I don't know. It's Las Vegas.
The Las Vegas general admission ticket, $1,350 for a general admission ticket.
That's general.
General. Grandstand ticket. Anyone like to have a guess what the grandstand ticket is?
2,000.
10k.
10k.
Anyone like to know what the most expensive ticket?
100k.
Say again.
Who has this money?
I know.
They can spend on Formula One. What?
Would anyone like to know the most expensive ticket you can buy for the Paddock Club?
Las
Vegas.
100,000.
$1 million.
What the? Who has £1 million just laying around a second?
Say you
Paddock.
Say you still want to stay in one of the hotels. $2 million. A night.
Oh. A night.
A night.
That's daylight robbery.
It's Las Vegas, Megan. It's kind of daylight robbery anyway.
Still, yours acceptable.
I mean, Jack, I'm linking this as well to Silverstone, who have come out as well as, before I get in, this is on board with Yuki Tsunoda through Kamsa, turns it in, lifts mid-corner, and has Lewis Hamilton dithering in the middle of the track. Oh, it's George Russell. I apologise. It's usually this.
I don't know what Tsunoda was doing there. I pulled to the right and he just aimed for me.
You were in his line!
George, you were in the centre of the track on the racing line. That is your fault.
You're on a slow lap. You have no right to say that.
And he's on the racing line as well, which is ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, getting back to what I was on about, Jack, the British Grand Prix have said recently that they are struggling to sell out their Grand Prix tickets.
I wonder why.
Yeah, because Red Bull are too dominant. Red Bull dominance is hurting their ticket sales, they say. Would anyone like to guess what, if you say you bought 4 tickets for the Hamilton Straight, 4 tickets, family, all go, would anyone like to have a guess at how much that would cost? 4k, Megan?
Okay.
I mean, he's right, but yeah.
So it's 4k.
£3,825 just for the tickets. Not for food, not for camping, anything, nothing. Just the tickets. Just for seats for 4 people, $4,000.
I'm sorry, but it's cheaper to get a house in Monaco and just watch the race.
One thing I want to know is...
from your window.
How rich is Jess? She went there last year. And in Hamilton. Jess, we must know. But no, seriously, £4,000 just for the tickets. And then the general admission tickets are like 800 quid for the weekend. That's why we never go to the British Grand Prix, by the way. 800 quid. We can't afford it. Well, that's what
you could buy 2 lip mics, which he really wants, for that price.
Yeah.
And I know he'd rather spend it on 2 lip mics.
I would rather spend £800 on 2 Coles 4104 lip mics than anything from Silverstone. But Jack, is Formula 1 now being a bit priced out for the fans? Because it's getting expensive.
It used to be for families.
Do you know? Guess how much I did? I took 3 people to pre-season testing. Tickets priced the same as a Grand Prix. Anyone like to guess how much I spent?
Oh, I actually never, so I can't answer.
£1,500. Sorry, Jack. And that was for 8 days in Spain. And yet it's £3,000 for something. It is cheaper to go to a European Grand Prix than the British Grand Prix. It is actually cheaper and quicker for me and Megan, where we're located in the commentary box, to get on the ferry and go and do the Dutch Grand Prix.
True.
And be back in our own beds on all 3 days, then do the British Grand Prix. We've got Deborah on the track exit at turn 11.
Doesn't it only take like 30 minutes on the ferry?
Yeah. Well, me and Megan could literally go to and from Zandvoort.
We could go to Le Mans. It's cheaper.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, let's hear from Ayo Korematsu, the Haas team principal. He's with Sky F1.
As well in this session. In terms of what you're hoping to achieve from this first practice session, what's going on right now, and how pleased are you with what you've seen?
To be honest, this circuit is quite challenging for us with the high-speed nature. So we're using this session to really assess our upgrade so far, how it's performing at this circuit. And of course, Ori's back in the car. So again, for him to go through this program for the engineers and also for himself, again, as ever, he's doing a very good job.
Ayo, it's Anthony here. You said upgrades, but from what I can see at least, it seems like you've just brought the one upgrade here.
No. So the upgrades I'm mentioning is not for Barcelona here. That's the one we introduced over
red
the time,
flag,
Shanghai,
red flag.
Imola, Miami. But we haven't actually had the proper high-speed corners since our upgrade. So this is the first, let's say, real aero circuit we can look at the car. So that's what I meant.
Can I ask you about Ollie? We're obviously, that you'll be aware as well, the strong rumours, as we get a red flag on track, right?
There's not a marshal point close enough, I think, so the marshals would have to go literally on the track for an extended amount of time. I think that's why there's a red.
And even putting the virtual safety car out at that position, because Camps is blind. It's uphill and blind.
It's just not safe.
It's not so safe, so you wouldn't see it. So that's why they've had to red flag the session. A wise precaution.
Yeah. It is.
Let's head back to Ayo Korematsu.
Obviously, and then his attitude is spot on. He's very, very engaged, understand what he needs to achieve in every single session. So yeah, 100% pleasure to work with. So yeah, for next year I can't say much at this stage, but all I can say is Ori's a really good guy to work with.
I can try, Ayo, I could try.
Ayo, it's Damon here. You don't have to say any more. We know you'd like to have him. You've just said that, really, haven't you? But we'll see if that comes to pass. He's obviously done a fantastic job. He was talking about his confidence. And as a person, you said he's great to work with. So this is an important ingredient, isn't it, in the team? The mood that the driver creates in the garage.
Absolutely. The two drivers are the only one driving this car and then feeling what it's really like. So, especially for teams like us, the drivers are very, very important, more important than probably for the bigger teams, I must say. So, yeah, having, somebody like Ori's capability and attitude is brilliant.
Great stuff. Thank you very much for talking to us at the moment. We'll talk to you again across the weekend.
The infamous duct tape.
Yeah, so red flag's out. Alonso has knocked off part of the front wing end plate as well. Aston Martin have bought a new front suspension fairing with revised twist distribution. New brake duct scooped on the front corner as well. An exit update to a new shape. And on the rear corner, a lower deflector position modified with a different lower edge trim applied. And it's that trim that's come loose. Session will restart at 2:11 in less than a minute. Woohoo! Quick restart.
Well, it's only a quick reason.
Yeah. I thought I might want to check the track out, just in case there's anything over. Planet Spotter Official from RPMZ is very happy with Oliver Behrman being here.
It is nice for him to get more time in the car.
Second of 6 sessions he's going to have in that Haas car, 3 in Hulkenberg's. This is his second as well. Sky predictably go to a night break during it, so we're going to hand over to the commentary team over at...
He can sometimes feel like he steps over the edge, but I think he's an exciting driver. He's vastly experienced, but importantly, he's got experience with that team. I know that from changing both of your drivers in any given season can be very difficult. You're learning how to work with these people who are key members of the organisation. You're learning how to build relationships at a time, you know, when you're supposed to be on track delivering results. So to have at least one side of your garage as a consistent part of that team is really important, so I'd keep Magnussen.
Well, and of course Haas had that very experience when they put Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin in the car, 2 rookies. They got rid of Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen. They wanted some money, and they wanted a thought maybe we go for a new completely green lineup, and it didn't pay off. So you'd have to think, well, okay, Behrman has more pedigree, but 2 people not experienced with the team.
You think about the last time we did it, 2007.
Wow.
It was Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. They weren't necessarily both rookies, but it ended in utter disaster.
They had the calibre as well. Session back underway then. We've removed the bit of front wing that was broken off Fernando Alonso's Aston Martin just on the exit of turn 9. So green flag running, and they all file out of the pits.
And as expected, it's
18
gone
minutes
off
and 20 seconds remain.
What you're basically asking there, Harry, is out of the drivers who are still available, so basically we're talking about Magnussen, Bottas, Ocon. Those are the 3.
I also hear Joe, because he's got a big lump of cash behind him.
Let me ask my question, and you can answer it for me.
Okay.
How do you rank those drivers in order of pace and general competitiveness? Bottas, Magnussen, Ocon.
But that's not the only factor, as we just said.
Okay, but let's just put money. None of those 3 bring money. Okay?
So
Bottas, Ocon,
speed.
Magnussen, those 3. Order, please.
I'd go for Bottas top. I would go for Ocon second and Magnussen third.
That's exactly what I would say as well. So I think K-Mag's got a problem.
So I would say the difference between them in terms of pace, A, we don't know it because we've never seen them all in the same car at the same time, but secondly, it's not the most important factor. The difference between them must be so close that...
it's gone off again. So 5 Live's having about as much luck today as anything else.
It doesn't like the heat either.
No, I'm going to turn it off, actually, but let's just do it ourselves, to be fair.
We were just talking about possibility of teammates like K-Mag. Whoever gets him will have someone who will literally get almost a race ban if you need more time. And Ocon, he will almost get a race ban just to make sure that he beats you.
Well, interesting enough, Magnussen is close to that race ban, hasn't he? He's still got, what is it, 10 of the 12?
Yeah. Also, if I could get Hulkenberg a little bit further up with him.
Piastri's just jumped up into 6th place, actually, as well, on 114.867. So he's improved massively there as well. It's Lando Norris now fastest, 114.228.
Those McLarens are really, really showing how much they are succeeding with those updates, which they have. Have you noticed ever since they got their updates, even before, they've just been so quick.
Yeah, they have been mega fast, haven't they, since the updates came in.
And they already were beforehand.
I've got this feeling it's not going to be as straightforward as we think, that this weekend, it's going to be Red Bull walkover.
Yeah, I think it will be a nice little surprise.
Especially if it rains. We saw in Canada how close it was. Lando should have won that race.
He should have. Right now, he's very annoyed at Sargent, I would imagine.
The safety car did not play the way he wanted to.
It's like, I'm so close, and Sargent is in the wall, you son of a...
was it Albon? Who retired? It was Sainz and Albon, of course, the safety car, wasn't it?
The second gun.
It was 2 safety cars. Yeah,
Sargent hit. Basically, Williams had it out for McLaren that day.
Yeah, there was 2 safety cars, wasn't there? Still.
The second time it was Sainz and Albon.
Yeah.
Because Sainz lost his grip, and for some reason Albon decided to go behind Sainz instead of just going
Miami.
in front.
I mean, Romania, Monaco, Canada. Can you start using other pages? We're going to run out.
Will you keep flipping the page?
Sargent off, continued yellow.
I think I gave up.
It's lap 63, yeah.
I think that was the time where I had to take it myself.
I get some Tipex and just wipe those out for you.
Is it weird? I like writing over Tipex.
Oh, you can get that then and write until you
It's
get
so
any maps.
peaceful.
Or just line under it and start again. We just need to get you what we need to get you is like this, but A5.
Is that basically just my bulk?
Yeah, but a rollover one, so you can just
Yeah.
keep your notes in there and leave it in here.
That
Let's
would
hear
be
from Leclerc.
helpful.
Who is the Aston Martin?
1 second.
Around you, or before Stroll.
Oh, just in the middle of the corner as always.
You should have expected it to be Stroll.
I mean, it is Lance Stroll, isn't it? Anyway, Bernie has news of the pits.
And because of that red flag, we've got a big variety of run plans out there. We've seen a number of people leave the pit lane on new soft or new medium tyres, still trying to get their low fuel in. Aston was one of those. I've seen both cars go out on a new soft. But then we've seen the likes of Norris and the Red Bull going out on used tyres, doing launches at the end of the pit lane, clearly on high fuel. And that will be adding to anyone's traffic dramas that haven't got that low fuel running in the FP1 session.
Cheers, Bernie. Next.
I only just noticed. It's 24 thousandths of a second that Norris is quicker than Verstappen.
Really quick. I need a new...
You've been saying this for ages, just fix the chair.
It's not that. It's the fact I need a comfier one to lean on.
Do you care to swap?
No, it's fine. It's just this one. It's Nana's one, isn't it? So
Yeah.
kind of don't want to break it, but I kind of like I need to sit down.
You're not going to break it.
Well, we've got enough chairs in this box.
Or Nana's.
Some of them need to be put in the shed or moved around. All that junk needs to be gone through as well.
You don't need that. Never getting rid of that. Kellyanne, do you have anything left from here? Probably do.
Just need to get rid of a lot of stuff.
Would you mind just taking a box each time that you come round?
Yeah, not too bad. Nice, by the way. Yeah, as you say. Quite close at the front. Okay. I think we've gone through all of our storylines, by the way. I don't think I've missed anything. Oh, I have actually. I've missed one big thing that I've actually saved perfectly for the end of this session that I wanted to bring up coming into it as well. And it's about, I'm going to bring Jack into this one as well, actually. So I saved it perfectly. By the way, Jack, you said you had something to bring up. If you wanted to bring it up now, before we get into the other story.
Oh, no, nothing. It's nothing. It's just that New Hampshire... It's just that New Hampshire's not got light, so that means if there's rain, it could get delayed to a Monday.
Oh, okay. Not too bad then.
We've got light
With the clutch when I came in. I kept the clutch and the rear tires locked up completely, and then went again when I was stopping for the box now.
Copy.
You heard it.
Charles Leclerc. Right, go on, Jack.
Yeah.
So New Hampshire hasn't got
There's an
lights.
Yeah, because there was an agreement when the track was built between the town and the track builders that there would not be any light or night race event so that local residents could not be woken up by the loud cars. Because it's not like, oh, these residents built their houses next to a racetrack. It's the other way around. The racetrack was built near there, so...
Yeah.
There's a lot of protests about that.
Well, they're trying to protest Laguna Seca as well.
The other way around, that one, though.
Yeah, they've built the housing near the circuit.
They built their house next to a racetrack. What did you think went on there?
So we've got our house next to a golf range.
Why have you put it on track over the next set point?
It's a good question.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they have. Hamilton's coming down the start-finish straight now, and Russell's crossing the control line. They are separated by half a straight, so there's no data for them to both use off, so that's a bit ridiculous. Yeah, our house next to a golf range. We don't complain about golf.
Yeah, there's also a golf range. Do you know...
Both sides of us.
Do you know my primary school?
Yeah.
When I was at primary school, there was a golf range next to it.
It's a foot golf range.
Yeah, so thing is, do you know there's gates which are round there? Well, kids literally, like, because there's also like a little like river thing there. It's like kids literally dug a hole underneath the gate. Kids could get underneath this, and some of them used to go get the golf balls that went in there for the golfers. Also, you can so easily escape from that or get stuck down there. And I would like to know, if anyone from my former primary school is watching, why did you not make sure that we could not get there? There was literally you were concerned about people playing in the trees, but not about the big hole in the ground?
Yeah, but
why?
They had Vietnam flashbacks about being in the trees.
I just don't get it.
Basically, your school was just the Great Escape.
There was also a hole that led to a field next to the doctors, which I know that dog walkers used to get on. It really was. Someone actually did escape. They climbed over the fence.
Colditz was brilliant as well.
Yeah,
Major
honestly,
Pat
it
Reed
felt like that.
denies escaping from primary school.
Honestly, it felt like that. Oh my!
You would like that. You would like Colditz actually. The BBC drama. It's really good. I think two seasons.
Isn't it a hotel now?
Colditz is now a hotel. Yeah.
So many hilarious reviews for Colditz as a hotel.
We looked at it, didn't we?
Yes.
Before, yeah. Didn't we want to stay in it if we were doing the Belgian Grand Prix? We said we wanted to stay in Colditz. I'd want to stay in Colditz for a night. I really would. It'd be like, how interesting.
Apparently, it's a lovely place. Like, obviously not back then, but now it's a lovely hotel. It's getting great reviews.
Oh dear.
Top Gear spent the night.
They did.
They had no complaints either.
They escaped. Did you watch
Chris? The helicopter.
On replay. As we look at Hamilton going 7th across the line, at Christmas when me and Dad were watching Bridge Over with the Choir, did you watch it?
I don't think I did.
Oh, you'd like it. Although Alec Guinness is in it as well.
Oh.
He plays the sergeant. He's in charge of building the bridge. Very good film. Ending's great. Casablanca's good. Have you seen Casablanca?
Surprisingly, no.
Casablanca's very good. We should watch Casablanca.
This is on the list of things we need to watch because...
Well, we just watched Alien for the first time.
Yeah.
Bored stiff for the first hour.
Yeah.
Last hour we were like, oh, hello.
Getting some action. People say, oh, I was so scared of watching Alien. Me and Josh.
I didn't jump once.
Nor did I.
No.
We're going to watch next week the second one.
We need I was shaking more watching Sutek's return.
Same!
Yeah, then watching
Like
Alien.
the adrenaline.
Yeah. Let's hear from Gasly.
Yeah, I think something wrong with the car box.
Oh, he's slow.
Drivable.
That's Alonso. Just crawling around, just trying to get some lap time data in as well. Gasly's got a problem coming in. No, but seriously, I was more scared watching Sutek's return.
Yeah, same.
It was building up. I can't wait for tonight with that. I'm buzzing from in there. I was like, come on. What have you got? By the way, Russell T. Davis said, who is Ruby's mother? Who is Ruby's father?
Yeah, I want to know that too. I've been saying, just like, we've all been talking about, oh yeah, the mother left on the doorstep. I'm sorry, but where was the father in this? Did he ever say about leaving his kid on a doorstep?
Volume.
I'm sorry, but it is a big question.
I know, we'll be fine. Gasly's back in the pit lane as well.
You watch the father, the master.
I've said that.
Which would explain why that thing was playing.
I think she
Either Missy being the mother, or for some reason my mind goes to Saxon Master being the father.
I've got a weird feeling that tonight is going to raise more questions than answers.
I'm thinking maybe she is maybe a member of the Pantheon. I'm kind of hoping, because that's the only way I'm in my head can think that Sutek can be taken down.
Okay, back to action.
That is action too!
Bernie's down there for us at Gasly.
We've got a lot of people doing long runs. We're doing some of the pit stop. I wanted to have a quick look at the Alpine pit box here, because you'll see in the pit box that at the front we have two markers, the yellow marker here and then a white marker here. And the difference is that they have one pit box that they have to use by regulation in the race, and then they've got another one slightly out of position that they're using for practice, and that's in order to let Pierre Gasly out of the pit box should he need to. So they've pushed the other one slightly further back such that if they've got Ocon in the pit box, Gasly can still get out.
Ah, that's great to know from Bernie. So this is no Ted this weekend, so Bernie's in the pit lane. Well, that is great to know. If Ted's not there, do you reckon we can call him up? It's going to be fun, that. Who's in the pit lane for us this weekend? I know Jack's down there now. Could be JT, because he's doing touring car too.
First call.
Yeah, I think Jess is up in the main box. I'm not entirely 100% sure.
Oh, what?
You haven't eaten yet?
I had breakfast. Do you know, I didn't have tea until 10:30 last night because I forgot.
I didn't have any tea.
That game's anti-stalling.
Oh.
Understood.
Anti-stalling.
So, Verstappen screwed.
Again.
Wait. That's how I like it.
2 races.
Yeah.
Has it been?
Monaco and Canada? No, Canada. Oh, Max is slipping.
I mean, technically, it can also... It's good that he has one win, and then I think...
Verstappen, Sainz, Verstappen, Lando, Verstappen, Charles, Verstappen.
I love that Verstappen is basically a person that is more excited about other people's wins in his own.
Because he knows he's got competition finally.
Yeah,
Megan,
just like...
Megan.
Why?
No, revenge has got stuck on the back of his rear
Ha!
wing.
Ha to you, Perez. Ha to you.
Sergio Perez's tear off. Oh, it's gone. He got stuck on the back of the rear wing of his own car, but it's dislodged itself. They do have pockets.
If I don't use
60 career wins for Max Verstappen, last time out, of course, in the Canadian Grand Prix.
I'm just waiting for him to get to the number 66.
Could do it by his own race, I'm not mistaken. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, yeah.
Oh, I kind of hope that happens now.
If he wins the next 6 races, he can do it. Spain, Austria, Silverstone, Hungary, Belgium, Netherlands. 6.
Oh, oh, my love of Star Wars is making me want him to do that.
The championship would be dead.
I know, but still, it'd be so funny.
Plus, I don't think Max is going to win this weekend. Brave bet, I don't.
I'm kind of hoping for maybe for Alonso or Carlos. It'd be nice for them to actually win the home race.
I've got a feeling he could win. I say this a lot, but I've got a good feeling about Lando.
Either that or Piastri. Though Lando is doing very well so far.
Lando is on a...
Touch wood.
Yeah, Lando's on a consistent charge now.
He apparently is the most consistent driver of the season so far.
Only driver to be in the points in every single race. I think the only one therefore to finish.
I think the only thing he hasn't finished in the entirety of the season is that time he crashed out in Miami, and he made up for that by winning the race.
In the sprint?
Yeah.
Yeah, he crashed the sprint, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was a bad one.
But then he won in the race.
Sprint next time out in Austria next week. Triple header, by the way, for Formula 1, so get used to it.
Yay.
And you can't skip any because it's Spain, then we go to Austria, and then it's the British Grand Prix.
What can be better?
Ocon gets through on Magnussen on the way down towards turn number 1. Nice slip through on the inside.
Wait a minute, they're next to each other.
Could be possible teammates or replacement drives, depending on what goes on.
two people that will gladly take anyone else off.
If Magnussen and Ocon get put in a team together,
Carnage.
Haas may as well just leave the sport now. The repair bill bankrupt them themselves.
Yeah.
They'll be out of money. Completely out of money.
It's
Checker flags up.
Them two together it wouldn't be like domination. It'd be like
Abomination.
Yeah, it'd be abomination. Just like they will literally try and it won't be their mission to win. It'll be their mission to see how many cars they can take off in one race.
Literally driving to survive.
Yeah. Except they're driving to make sure no one else does.
Albon has taken the checkered flag. Then it's Ricciardo, Gasly, Stroll, Zhou and Norris has now done it. Taking a look at that, that's quite even actually. If you look at Verstappen and Norris, in terms of I think Lando's got it more in the corners.
I agree.
And then it's the straights that have sort of got the fat for Red Bull.
But key factor, Lando has after the
line.
checkered.
Yeah. It looks like Lando gets a great start, then Max sort of tries to catch him up.
But then Lando would be able to overtake.
Yeah, it all falls in the second sector for Lando. Lando gets a great first sector, but it's sector 2 and 3 where Max is better. Look at the track domination that we've just had up on the screen.
Do you know, I feel like Magnussen and every other driver is going to have to pay for Zhou's therapy eventually, because poor Zhou is literally all the time at the back of the field having to watch for carnage right in front of him, and it's usually a Haas.
He's not having the greatest season, is he, Zhou Guanyu?
Yeah, he literally has been consistently the first one to roll up at a team. He's just like, la 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 la, oh no, not again. If this was Among Us, he'd literally be the one getting called being sus. It's like, you seem to be always fit. It's like, that's not my fault.
It's not me, Gov, I promise.
It's Magnussen! It's K-Mag!
Go on.
Not a line I ever expected to hear in the commentary box.
Zhou Guanyu is sus.
Still, I reckon they would like that.
Someone with that quote.
Well, he's failed to get out of Q1 in every single session this year, bar the sprint race in China.
Gotta keep that traumatized. How do you say that?
There you go.
Traumatization.
The YouTube chat.
Traumatization. That's it.
Tell you one thing as well, actually, for Zhou, he's very much on the back foot. As I said, highest qualifying of 10th in the sprint race for Shanghai.
He needs a stronger team.
Has failed to get out of Q1 in every single race this year.
He needs a stronger team.
Yeah. And he's always been in the back row of the grid as well.
Yeah.
It's not going well for Zhou. Let's see how it goes. There's Fernando Alonso. Also, one of the narrowest starting grids of the year here.
Which makes overtaking at the starting thing harder.
Monaco is narrower. Vegas is narrower. Then I think it's... I think Albert Park's wider than this. And then it opens up once the pit lane closes in.
Which is good. Right. I am going to Ramos.
Alright, what do you make of P1?
I thought it was quite good, very funny. And I think it's definitely a good start from McLaren. But also I think it's a good start from Mercedes.
Alright, see you for P2.
Bye-bye.
Let's take a look then at the full results from the first session here. It's Lando Norris fastest for Max Verstappen second. Carlos Sainz takes it in third position as well. George Russell goes in fourth with Sergio Perez fifth. Oscar Piastri sixth. Lewis Hamilton seventh. Esteban Ocon is eighth. Fernando Alonso is ninth. Alexander Albon goes 10th. Charles Leclerc is 11th with Valtteri Bottas in 12th. Pierre Gasly is 13th. Lance Stroll 14th, Danny Ricciardo 15th, Zhou Guanyu is 16th, Kevin Magnussen 17th, Logan Sargent 18th, Ollie Behrman 19th, and Yuki Tsunoda rounds out in 20th. Well, a fascinating first session then here from the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. Jack, what did you make of the session from your point of view?
Good start for McLaren is what I had to say. I think Lando Norris fastest, pretty much. Very, very, very good start for McLaren. Max Verstappen with those clutch issues, could that come into play during the weekend, though? And, of course, hopefully they can get Gasly's car repaired. But overall, good start for McLaren. I'm looking forward to the rest of the weekend.
I'm the same here. It's going to be very, very good. 2 hours' time, then, you can join us back for the next session for Formula 1, their second practice as well here. Next up on JB Motorsports, it's the Formula 3 qualifying session as well. 30 minutes to decide the running order for the sprint race and the feature race as well. After that, it'll be Formula 2, then it's back for F1 FP2, and after that it is F1 Academy qualifying. Later on tonight, IndyCar Radio takes you through the first session from Laguna Seca as well. My thanks to Megan, and my thanks to you too, Jack. So, free practice 1 has concluded here. It is Lando Norris who tops the session by 24 thousandths of a second to Max Verstappen. Lot to play for. Great first hour. Second hour coming up this afternoon. Thanks for your company here on JB Motorsports. To everyone watching, we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.